So before you were married, did the sales help with dating? Yes or no?
Oh, 1,000%. I was a closer.
If you were a young person, like 18 to 25, you're a man, you want to create one high income skill because you got to 45,000 with one skill, right? You were marketing.
Multiple skills.
Okay, so how many skills did you have to stack to get there?
Sales was the first one. Last year, I spent over $500,000 just on education and masterminds, courses, and groups.
Okay.
Sales is the most important.
Okay.
I think sales is the most important skill in the entire world. Without being good at sales first, I would have sucked at marketing. In one Saturday, as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, I would sell more in one day than 4 adult salesmen would sell in 6 days of working their entire week. Like, how much more do you appreciate it? Do you get what I'm saying?
I love it, dude. All right, Mr. Eddie, Bad Marketing. Welcome to the podcast, my man.
How you doing, bro?
Dude, I'm doing good. Flew in from Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Going to the Cole's Mastermind. That'll be sweet.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it, man. So what I love to talk about today is how you've built your marketing empire. Because I know that you know, did you grow up rich?
No.
Right, so you didn't grow up rich. And so I know a lot of guys
I
watching
didn't grow up poor either.
You didn't grow up poor? So you,
Yeah.
what did your parents do?
My dad owned a flooring business.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So we're like lower middle class.
Yeah, so you grew up like middle class, yeah. But now you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing well now.
Class.
Yeah, upper class
We
now.
did it.
He did it. What are you wearing, by the way? I love watches.
AP Royal
Dude,
Oak.
that blue,
Blue,
yeah, that thing is sick.
They actually don't make this anymore. That's why I bought it. They stopped making this one in 2020. And this one was unworn. I bought it like 6 months ago. It was like no one's ever worn it
Yeah.
before. So I was like, you know what? Like, I like unique things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my Lambo's unique. My watch is unique. Like, it's not just a watch. It's like, I was like, okay, I want it for this reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's unique about the Lambo?
I have yet to find a Lambo spec the way my Lambo is. From the color to the black wrap on the hood to the spacers on the wheels to the lowering kit that's on it to the exhaust that's on it. Like, I haven't even seen one that looks remotely close to mine in person. And everyone that sees it, it's like, they're like, yo, that I've never seen one that looks like that. It looks different. You know what I mean?
I love that. And they match, right?
That's literally, I was like,
Did you buy them at the same time?
No, I bought the Lambo in April, and I bought this. I was in Lebanon actually on vacation, and someone posted this in a watch group, and I was like, dude, this with the Lambo, same color scheme.
Is that your favorite color?
Fuck it. Yeah, blue's up there.
I love blue,
I have a
dude.
lot of blue in my wardrobe and in my life. But
Let's go, dude. All right, cool. Well, for those of you who maybe don't know who Eddie is, me and Eddie actually met at Cole's Mastermind probably about 4 or 5 months ago in Cabo. And one of the things I love about Eddie is how genuine you are. Like, as soon as we connected, like, we were just like bros right off the bat. Like, we were just bros, like making jokes, cracking jokes. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing your story. For those of you, or for those watching that maybe don't know who you are, how would you describe what you do in like 60 seconds or less?
I run a marketing agency. I think everyone here kind of knows what that is. And I work with e-commerce businesses and coaches, but pretty much anything that's sold online is what we work with. As long as I can sell it online without having to depend on like someone getting a lead. That's pretty much what I focus on. I have about 170 employees now. So
Wow, 170 employees. Yep. And how long have you been running your company?
Like, here's the thing. On paper, we all start an LLC, right?
Okay.
So that date was August 2017.
August 2017.
Okay. But I was still working a job in August 2017. But that was the date of the LLC starting, right?
Okay.
And then in basically like March, April 2020 is when we started like really taking it seriously and like hiring people. So it's been like 3.5, almost 4 years.
3.5, almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And you have 170 employees. And what do you guys do in revenue per year?
Around 20 million.
20 million. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy, dude. So, and how have you differentiated yourself from a lot of other marketing agencies? Because I remember when I was like 14, 15, the number one trendiest thing was start a social media marketing agency.
Yeah.
Ty Lopez, 14, 15, blowing up, right? So a lot of people did that. You started even a little bit later than when it really started to pop off. How have you grown it so quickly in such a short amount of time? What do you attribute your success secret formula?
All right, this is gonna be like what people think is like the lamest answer, right? But in reality, it's actually the best answer. So it is the purpose of my marketing agency versus the purpose of theirs. Okay, why do most people start a marketing agency?
To make money.
To make money, right? Cool. Totally agree. I learned marketing to make money. I didn't start an agency to make money. I learned marketing to make money. So solo, I went and got my own clients. I made my own money. I got to $45K a month without hiring another person. You know what I mean? Like, I made money from marketing. My purpose of starting my marketing company was not to make more money. It was, hey, I understood that, and I'll tell you a story about my past, very involving bridging the gap in my life, that I think the same way as I thought in this scenario. But I looked and I said, listen, I'm always safe. My worst case, with the knowledge and skills that I have, is to come back and make 40 to 45K a month, right? Like, that's where I'm at right now. So I'm like, if all shit falls, if everything falls apart, I can always get back to this point. So now that I've understood that, let me go do something bigger with more impact, with more purpose. I want people to graduate and like not even graduate, go to school and be like, I want to work for that marketing company. I want like a random person to go talk at a conversation, be like, I've seen that company. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't just want to like go and make more money. I already knew I could make $600K a year working from a bedroom, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Once I understood that, my risk was zero. You know what I mean? Because I knew that was my worst case scenario. So my purpose was to build the biggest, baddest marketing company possible. You know what I mean? So it wasn't around making more money. So in order to do that, I have to make decisions differently. I can't take the money out and spend it on myself. I put it back into the business. I invest in other things. I buy more companies. Like, I only do things that benefit that goal to getting to that point, if that makes sense.
I like it. And is that why you have bad marketing? Where'd the name bad marketing come from? What does it mean?
Okay, cool. So it means bold and disruptive is BAD. Okay. So I just merged with someone else named Ashton Shanks, super big in the marketing space as well. I had an agency, it was called Form Media. He had an agency called Heman. And we basically, I was going to change my name essentially. And I was like, listen, now's the time if we want to merge. We've always like flirted with the idea of like joining forces and like doing something bigger and badder. And I'm in a situation where like I've been working for 3 months to get this name because it's so sick. Like, I got the Instagram, I got the website, I like, you know, it's kind of like Thanos and the Stones. That's what it felt like. I'm like trying to get a handle that someone else has. Like, it's like, it's a long ass process. You know? It's a lot of shady, like, black market of Instagram.
Yeah.
You know
the websites, you got to message the people to get the website to negotiate.
Yeah. It's so toxic. So I basically got all those cards set and I was like, dude, listen, like, I'm changing the name. Now's the time. If you like this, like, let's build the vision together. Like, let's build the core values. Let's build the mission. Let's build where this goes. But this is the name that I think we're going to go with. Because, dude, let's be honest. If you get good marketing from a company called Bad Marketing, like, how much more do you appreciate it? Do you get what I'm saying?
I love it, dude. You're a big meme guy, aren't you?
Yeah, big meme guy.
You're big. I can tell, dude.
And I told them, I was like, guys, worst case scenario, we turn this into a meme page and we can turn this, we can make so much money from bad marketing. Like, everyone would follow the meme page Bad Marketing if it was like actually bad marketing on it. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
So it was too easy. So I was like, if I'm going to build the brand that I want to build, which is that vision that I told you about, like, a name like this is one that everyone would talk about versus like For Media. Like,
yeah,
I have people who've referred 10, 15 clients to us at this point, and they still say our name wrong when it was For Media. When it's Bad Marketing, there's always a double take. Like, no one ever fucks up that name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So
that's cool, man. And so you said that you just started this merger about 3 months ago?
Yeah. Well, we started in April.
Okay.
April was when we started talking. June, we finalized. July, August, September, we planned. This is like, we're not like, okay, let's sign and then figure it out. We're like, let's figure it out. We all agreed this is what it's going to look like. Cool. September was like the month of like, we told our team it's happening in a month. Here's what's happening. And then October 1st was when we like told everyone publicly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. And how big were the two different teams and what was that merger like?
So his team was smaller than mine. But they were also doing like just as much ad spend, for example. So it was all kind of perspective. We're pretty equal in this agreement.
Mm-hmm. Cool, man. And what were some of the core values that you and your partner Ashton, you said? Mm-hmm. What did you guys how did you guys build those core values? Because I feel like a lot of men watching this don't know what their own core values are. And so what was the process and the mental model you went through to build those?
Yeah, so
what's going on, guys? It's Bridger. Listen, a lot of you guys watching the podcast want to know how you guys can get a hold of me. Best way is to join my Bridge Builder Brotherhood and shoot me a DM on School. First link in the description. You've got exclusive content, monthly coaching calls with me, and I'm posting all the time in there. It's like our own little social media platform. First link in the description, completely for free. Let's get back to the podcast.
Here's how I do core values for at least our company, right? It would be like if I had to pick the perfect person, and I don't know if you ever see if you follow any sports pages, it's like the perfect basketball player, and it's like Steph Curry's shot, Michael Jordan's like finishing. You know what I mean? It's like all these things. It's like that's kind of what you want to do. You want to build the perfect person on your team, and then you want to say, okay, how can I, instead of saying like he's really good at marketing or like he's super determined, like how can I make that in a way where people are like, I'm attached to being like that. So for example, our first core value is be bad. Okay. Be bold and disruptive. Like that's our first core value. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Number 2 is play to win. Like I want a guy on my team who's playing to win. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to sit here and like just have another dude who's on the team.
Yeah. He's not here just collecting a paycheck.
That's it. We're fucking going for the championship. And if you're not like the championship guy, quite frankly, I don't want you. I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Nobody's bigger than the team. Like great that dude, I fired people because but I fired people while they were the most skilled people in my company. Like someone who people are like, I think he's the smartest person we have here, and I fired him.
Because he doesn't play to win.
Because he thinks he's bigger than the team.
Oh, bigger than the team.
I don't want to do it that way because I want to do it my way. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't want to work with John because John doesn't understand this thing. Like, you know what I mean? So anyways, we have 7 core values. Those are 3 of them. But just so you have an idea, I basically craft what is the perfect person that I want. You know what I mean? And what does that look like? And that is what our core values are.
I love that. What are the other 4?
Them. Always be growing.
Okay.
Extreme ownership. The best idea wins, which is like, and here's the purpose in this one. It's like, if you are the lowest level role in this company, I don't want you scared to bring an idea to the table, because there's been so many times when someone who had no significance in the project brought an idea to the table that was the person you would least expect that ended up being the best idea. And so I was like, we need to have it where this person can, what's it called? Where anyone doesn't feel like some sort of shame to bring an idea to the table. Yeah. We even have every form we have an anonymous form and a not anonymous form. That way there's like no excuse for why you didn't want to submit feedback on something. Like you could totally do it anonymously if you want, or you can put your name on it.
I love that. That's cool. Yeah. Have you found that most people go opt into the anonymous? Or what's the percentage wise, or what have you seen?
I'll tell you, at first they do, then they don't. Okay. I think once they realize, oh wait, my feedback isn't going to be used against me, it's actually going to be used to help me, they put their name on it.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's scary sometimes as a company, you're like, I think our management system sucks. You know what I mean? You're like, am I going to get fired for this shit? So it's like anonymous, and they're like, oh, they fixed it. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, this is my idea, by the way. You know what I mean? So yeah, it makes it a little different when you start building that trust. Because to everyone who works with us, we're just a boss to start, As time goes on, they're like, oh, I understand how this person thinks. I'm not afraid to say certain things anymore. You know what I mean? And so it opens up a little bit more.
I love it, dude. So what's the vision of bad marketing? Like, where are you taking it?
Well, we're gonna end up selling to a bigger agency, I think, is where we're gonna go. And I say that now, but then when we get there, I might be like, fuck it, dude. Like, why not go more?
Just keep going, yeah.
But we do have in our agreement, if someone offers us a 9-figure number in cash, then we have to, as partners, sit at the table and discuss it, no matter what. So that is always the front option, right? But like, you get to the table, someone's giving you $120 million. It's hard to say no to, but it's also, there's a reason you're worth $120 million, right? And so, in my perspective, you're always selling a company low. If you're driving it and you're really confident in the future and the growth of your company, you're always selling low. Yeah. Right? Like, you're always selling at a point that's less than where you are next year. But in my opinion, you're buying back time as well. And so, whereas when I first started to build this, I wanted to personally build this to the biggest, baddest marketing company ever. I think I've changed my perspective a little bit, especially with a family. Whereas I want to build it big enough where it can keep going and become that. You know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to drive it every single day.
I love that. What does family mean to you?
I mean, in my case, it's my wife and daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like actual physical family.
Yeah. But what does it mean to you though? Like, where's your, like, how much does your family mean to you is what I mean.
Okay, cool. So my family, and not just mother, father, brothers, right? But my friends that I look at as family, my brotherhood, as you call it. Yeah. are strong enough for me to not move to somewhere like Arizona, where this is like my number one spot to live. Like I always talk about it with my wife.
You love it.
Here or Dubai, like equally, I would live in both. Here is my first option because like time makes more sense. I travel. You see me speaking a lot. Like from Dubai to America, it's very hard to do that. Right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm culturally like I'm Lebanese, so like
Oh, cool.
half of Dubai is Lebanese people. Like I speak the language there. Like I move fluidly. You know what I mean?
Where's Lebanon as far as like Iran?
Iran. I think Iran is north of Lebanon.
Okay.
Northeast, I think.
It's close though, right? Yeah, I think it's close.
So Israel.
Yeah.
Lebanon borders Israel north.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then it would be over to the left, yeah.
Left?
Yeah, the Iran's up and to the left, and then it goes Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia and then Iran, yeah.
No, it's below. No? Saudi Arabia is below on the right.
Yeah, let me look up a map, guys. We're gonna get this confirmed.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia is on the right. Why would you ask about Iran specifically?
So I'm dating a girl who's her dad's from Iran.
Okay,
so
cool.
she's Persian.
Okay, cool.
So she's Persian, yeah. So I was just I'm kind of studying the Middle East now because I have a Persian girlfriend.
Yeah, I think
you're right.
Missed.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So then
Saudi Arabia is bottom right.
Oh yeah, you're right. So Iran's to the right. It's the opposite
of
what I said, and then Lebanon's over here.
You see Lebanon?
Yeah, it's right above Israel.
Yep.
How does that have to play with what's going on over there?
Let's not talk about that.
All right, we won't
get
talk
off
about
topic.
We'll get off topic. But anyways, okay, let's talk about. So you're gonna sell this thing, and what does the dream life look like for you? Like when you sell this thing, like what are some of your highest values? What are you looking forward to, or like what inspires you every day to get up and keep moving to a bigger, better, bridging the gap vision?
Here's the thing, man.
Okay.
I think the gap is never bridged. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it is. So I don't have an end in mind, quite frankly. If I did, I feel like I would get there a lot slower. Because if that is the end, then I can't get there until the end.
Yep.
That's why it's the end. Right? But I don't think I'll ever get there. I'll never bridge the gap fully. But I've done certain things to bridge what might be a gap to other people. Like my life right now is a gap to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Being able to spend the time that I spend with my family, my wife and kid, even my parents. I saw my parents 6 times last week. They don't live with me. I drove to their house with my wife and daughter. You know what I mean? While running the company, and this is just one of my companies. I have 5 pretty significantly sized companies. And so I say that to say, like, I've already bridged a gap to a lot of people. I've bridged a gap that's unbridgeable to a lot of people. You know what I mean? But I don't think I'll ever bridge whatever the gap is that's in front of me. But I've done certain things that I think that people from this podcast could probably take away. So like back to kind of the situation of like when I told you I felt like I was safe. I had like 40 to 50K a month, right? I was like, whatever, I can always come back to this. I did the same exact scenario that got me started into like a deeper world in marketing. So I basically learned ads in college. This is like 2014. I was a junior in college. And so basically I learned ads, and then I went and worked. Long story short, basically I started bodybuilding.com in the Middle East, but it took a few years for the paperwork, because it's supplements, it's like pharmaceuticals, to enter other countries. So it takes like 18 months of like paperwork to like get those products imported. Like if you're going to bring a new powder or pill for people to consume that doesn't exist and isn't registered by like the equivalent of like the FDA in another country, especially one that like didn't have supplements, you know what I mean? It's a lot more difficult. So I had an 18-month period. So I was like, I need to stay in fitness, but I need to also like do something that betters my skills. So I worked at Lifetime Fitness, and I became the #1 sales guy within like probably like 120 days in the company. And I say that just to say, I realized that I bridged that gap in my life. And most people, I got offered a promotion for like significantly more money. I think most people take that promotion. But I thought to myself, listen, this promotion isn't like to senior VP of like the country or anything, right? It's just like a assistant salesman. It's like the next step, right? I'm like, if I'm kicking my feet up and I'm not challenging myself and I'm #1, like how much more gap can I bridge? Okay. And so I basically said to myself, let me go and force myself to be in a situation where I have to bridge another gap. And so I left that job. I worked for my father's company, which like, I think people look at it and like, oh, not everyone can work for your dad. I worked for $2,500 a month. Like you can work anywhere for $2,500 a month. You know what I mean? Like it's like I I eventually got clients that paid me $2,500 a month, not let alone a job. You know what I mean? So I worked for basically minimum wage, less than that, and I did all the marketing, and I took a percent of profit that I brought in through the marketing that I could track. So that bridged the marketing gap for me, where it forced me to be in an environment where I actually challenged myself with the skills that I had. And so the lesson here is like, I think especially being young, a lot of times we look at the money, and that's what powers us. Like that money that I could have taken at 21 years old to make like 140K a year was a fuck ton of money, especially back then. We're talking like 2016, right?
Yeah.
Fuck ton of money for like a 21-year-old. People would be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most of my friends my friends who were with me in college, everything that I built, my friends who were with me in college just graduated medical school. Like if they became doctors.
What?
Just for perspective. Yeah. Right. That's how long. So everything I've done since college, my friends are now graduating with like $600K of debt.
Jeez. And they probably have zero business, zero practice, zero clients.
Zero nothing.
Zero.
Zero
They're starting zero.
They're starting at zero.
And how much revenue have you you generated for your clients since then?
Oh, billions.
Billions in revenue.
Billions.
Billions.
For sure, billions, for sure. No,
Wow, and you definitely made tens of millions then from that, right?
Tens, yeah.
Tens.
Not hundreds, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you're literally up a lot, and that's crazy. So that's for me why I dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going. I love this, dude.
So yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is like a lot of times in life, people choose money too early on instead of mindset or skill set. Okay, which I think are the reason I'm where I'm at. Not that I'm even there yet, right? Is because I say things like I'm not even there yet, and I am humble enough to go spend a pretty significant amount of money. It used to be like $500 a year, then it was $3,000 a year, then it was like $40K a year. Then it was like last year I spent over $500,000 just on education and masterminds and courses and groups.
How much?
$500K.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, I mean, even think about the one that we're mutually together is like 20% of that number.
70K.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's just one, let alone the flights, the hotels. It adds up to 100 by the end of the year just for that one. You know what I mean?
Totally.
I'm in so many. And so I've always like invested into myself, because I always know there's a gap to bridge. And it's just in different areas of life, right? So I don't think I'll ever close that gap, but I think too early on, what I saw in all my friends was like, they want more money now, where I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I just need enough to like add something to my bank account to feel more secure if I lost everything and still had that money. But I really am just building skill set. You know what I mean? I would spend all my money to build skill set, to build relationships, and to put myself in those environments, because I knew I don't know shit, bro. And like to this day, as much as I make and as well as I do for my clients, like I still don't know shit. You know what I mean?
That's such a powerful mindset, like the beginner's mindset. Like I don't know anything. And that I feel like that even just saying that causes your brain to like be more open to ideas.
It's forced, actually. It's forced to acquire new ideas.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it becomes stagnant. Core value, always be growing. Core value in the company. It's the last one we read every time, because it's the one we want people to leave with.
How do you like to consume information?
So many different ways. What I don't like is like an audible of a book or something like that. Yeah, I used to. That's interesting. I'm just like never in an environment where I can consume something for so long anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like I can't like to listen to an audible. What am I going to do? Break it up into 10-minute intervals, 15-minute intervals. It's like not really the best way to consume. I'd rather read a chapter. I don't know. I'd rather read a chapter or watch a YouTube video or watch a piece of a course than listen to like a 10-minute audible for me. And a lot of times in books, like I can look at this shelf right now, and there's a pretty good bit of books here. And I would say like I've read half of these books or listened to them at some point. And I think we would both agree that I'm still reading all these titles just to make sure I'm right on this. Yeah. I would say I've read a third of these books, and I think we can both agree that by 25% into the book, you know the entire book.
Yeah, I agree. It's 80-20. It's 80-20.
It's like, I get the fucking point.
Yeah, you get the point. It's all stories, dude. They have to fill the pages for publishing.
They can't just make like a 15-page book.
Yeah,
with all the info.
but they would though.
But they would, exactly.
They
right?
would, dude.
That's my perspective on it too.
I agree. It's a lot of empty.
It's a lot of. It's like
analogies. It's like, how much do you need to get the point?
It's like, how many ways can I say the same thing over and over and over again? You know what I mean? But like, if you're intelligent, I feel like you could read a lot of these. I could read the title and be like, "Fucking, it's right. I understand why it's a bestseller." Like, how the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Like, obviously, I'm gonna learn more about it, but like the principle is how not giving a fuck about certain things that don't matter is gonna help you better in life, right? And so, like, the faster you can get to that point, I think the faster you can execute. So I consume information from other people directly. I consume it from YouTube videos. I consume it from courses and programs. I'm a big believer in courses and programs. Everyone that's like, courses are a scam and all this shit, in my head, I'm laughing hysterically because I'm like, there's just like, you have no idea. Like, and it's usually the people that are the hardest to turn. So I'm not going to sit there and fight and try to convince them. I can tell when I can convince someone. And I can tell when someone's like hell bent on like courses are a scam and you know what I mean, all this other shit.
Yeah.
But that's changed my life, dude. That's where I'm at. Why I'm at where I'm at today.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the first course you ever bought?
Oh shit. Man, I bought a lot back in the day. I bought Billie Jean's course in 2015.
Oh, cool.
And I bought Dan Henry's course in 2016.
Wow.
Those are like my
He's
first
been doing
courses.
it a while.
Dan Henry or Billie Jean?
Both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, but Dan though, I was book on the shelf. Yeah, he's a cool guy. And he got started young too. Like he was crushing young.
Yeah, he was.
Are you friends with him now? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, I was watching one of his videos on like a school group. I love what he's doing like with the school group. What are your thoughts on getting more tactical? What are your thoughts on these free groups in the form of schools and these communities that I'm seeing just really blow up? Like, have you seen
like
it?
Make one or to be in one?
I would say more from the creator side. Like if someone's watching this right now and they want to start to create income online, I feel like there's different ways you can do it. You can be a marketer. You can be a sales guy. I've made a lot of money in high ticket sales closing, right? I've made 30, 40, 50,000 a month. So like what for you, like if someone's evaluating their opportunities, like who should be like a influencer, sales guy, like marketer? How do you figure that out? You just try a lot of stuff or what's your methodology?
I try a lot of stuff. It's like, here's the thing. You get out of stuff what you want to get out of stuff. So like someone might go to the same event that I'll go to and they'll be like, oh, I really learned this one really cool thing that this speaker said. And I might come out and be like, dude, I made 5 new friends that I know together will make tens of millions of dollars. We both went to the same event and had the same exact experience towards us, but we came out with different results. You know what I mean? And so the same goes to every course, to every group. I have friends who take the same courses that I take, and they're like, I didn't learn shit. And I'm like, dude, I just doubled my revenue of my entire life because of these things that I thought to apply that you didn't. You know what I mean? And so I would just try more things, but like approach each one with the context of like, or with the goal of like, I want to get the most out of this thing. And what are the ways that I can? So I'll give you an example. I bought a course from someone who's my friend, Joel Kaplan. Have you heard of Joel Kaplan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I bought a course from him in 2020. Everyone attended like every call every day and all this shit. I attended the course. I did a one-on-one call with him. I told him, here's what I'm thinking. He said, I agree with you. I'm like, cool. That's like validation to me, this course that I paid. And then I watched the course. I got about like 50% through the course. And I was like, okay, cool. I think we kind of got a lot of information to work with. Let's just like watch the rest of the course. Never attended a single coaching call. And I am 99.999% sure I'm his most successful student ever.
What was he teaching?
I like how to grow an agency.
Oh,
right? So
okay.
I was like, oh, cool. We need reporting systems and we need like automations and we need onboarding. Like I learned a bunch of stuff of like, oh, cool. Here are the processes. Cause I was really good at marketing and sales, but I didn't really necessarily build the infrastructure of the processes of the business. Right. So my point in all that is I didn't like sit here and like say, because I spent, $10,000 on this course that I need to attend every single coaching call. I just knew because I spent $10,000 on this course, I need to get at least $10,000 in skill set back. Like that's all I really needed. Right. And so I got that and that's what I focused on. Whereas other people are like, because I spent so much money on this thing, I need to like get as much time as possible out of it. Where it's not about the time, it's about the progress and the results. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. Cause I feel like when I'm seeing and talking to some of the younger guys that I work with, one of the biggest things that I notice is their unawareness of time. And the guys that I know that are super successful, I mean, these guys are like this on the ball with time. They're very protective of their time. They invest time and they don't spend time. So do you want to talk about for a second, like investing your time in things versus just spending your time?
What age category are we talking about?
Like 18 to 25.
Perfect. Okay, great. So here's the problem with 18 to 25.
Yeah.
You dropped out of college or high school?
College.
How many years do you go to college?
1 semester, but I did dual enrollment. So I did 2 years of college while I was in high school. So I had 2.5 years of college and I dropped out.
So you did.
What's going on, guys? It's Bridger. Listen, a lot of you guys watching the podcast want to know how you guys can get a hold of me. Best way is to join my Bridge Builder Brotherhood and shoot me a DM on school. First link in the description. You've got exclusive content, monthly coaching calls with me, and I'm posting all the time in there. It's like our own little social media platform. First link in the description, completely for free. Let's get back to the podcast.
1 semester. How many hours did you have in that 1 semester?
Bro, I mean, I probably spent...
No. How many hours of classes did you take? 10 hours, 12 hours?
Per day or per week?
They do it per week. So it's like you're taking 15 hours this semester.
Oh, 15.5 credits.
15.5. Perfect. Okay. 15.5 credits. So probably 15 hours, let's say, is probably what it ends up at.
Something like that, yeah.
So like in college, the perception is, holy fuck, bro. Bridger, how are you balancing 15 credits this semester? Like that's so much work. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying here?
They were, yeah. And I think it was actually 17.5 now that I think about it. But either way, yeah, keep going.
Dude, let it be 20. Like, think
20,
about the
30,
perspective.
yeah.
We're like, oh, I have 20 hours of class a week. And I'm so overwhelmed. I'm drowning. Like, I had friends who did like 18 to 20 hours. And we're like, bro, we'll see you next semester. You know what I mean? Like, good luck. Because it's so much work. But in reality, bro, it's fucking 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like, how much free time do you have on top of that 15 hours? People who have grown-ass jobs work 50 hours a week between the time of travel and the time of actually working. You know what I mean? Like, that's 50. If you are taking 15, you have at least 35 hours of work time available to you. Not even counting gym, personal time, like all this other shit, right? So, like, when we grow up, we have to somehow do 50 hours a week of work. But when we're in college, we're trained that 15 is a lot.
And what about homework?
Yeah, oh, bro, but like, how much homework is there really? There's like
2-3 hours. Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Give me 5 hours, bro.
Yeah, you still
Bro, 10 hours a week.
10 hours a week. Yeah.
10 hours a week of homework.
Yeah.
You want to be super diligent and get everything done? 10 hours a week of homework.
Yeah. And you're still at what is that?
25 hours.
Yeah, 25. You still
25
have
fucking hours.
You still have
bro.
25 hours.
Bro, let's just take a day. Let's just say you sleep 8 hours. Okay.
Okay.
You have 16 hours.
Okay.
Times 7 days a week. What is that? It's like 90 hours. You have 90 hours to consume total of like life, and in your worst case scenario, we agree that 25 of them are missing. You have 65 hours left every week to like work out, do whatever the fuck you want. And let's be honest, no one sleeps 8 hours a day in college. Like, I don't know about you, but we were partying, we were waking up early. You know what I mean? We're burning both ends of the stick all the time. So like, you really have like 100+ hours. So I say that to say like, we're conditioned in college to think that 15 hours of workload is a heavy workload. And that's why they're not productive with their time. It's because, dude, I'm taking 15 hours, man. I should have to rest. Like, man, this shit's hard. You know what I mean? Whereas if the standard was like you have 30 hours a week of classes, it would be a whole nother ballgame. People would be coming out like fucking 40-hour work weeks. This is a joke. You know what I mean? Whereas now people look at it a little bit different. I see it in my siblings that are younger and going to school, and like, you know, I think that's part of the wrong conditioning of valuing time.
Yeah. So as far as investing your time, and if you were a young person like 18 to 25, you're a man, you want to create one high income skill because you got to 45,000 with one skill, right? You were marketing.
Multiple skills.
Okay, so how many skills did you have to stack to get there?
Sales was the first one.
Okay.
Sales is the most important one.
Okay.
I think sales is the most important skill in the entire world.
Why?
Because it is your ability. It allows you to generate income in any sense. The only reason I got into marketing was because I was like, I'm tired of selling one-to-one. How can I sell one-to-many? And so the only way to sell one-to-many was marketing, right? I'm like, if I took my sales skills and put them on a billboard, I could just sell everyone that drives by the billboard. If I could put them on an ad on YouTube, I could sell everyone that sees the ad on YouTube. So like, why am I sitting here and fucking doing gym tours one-on-one? You know what I mean? Like, give me fucking 50 people on a gym tour and I'll sell 45 out of the 50. You know what I mean? So I got into marketing because it was a way to amplify my sales. Without being good at sales first, I would have sucked at marketing. I would have just known how to get more impressions, but getting more impressions doesn't make you money. Selling more with less impressions makes you money. So if I can sell more than you can with less impressions than you can, but I can also get more impressions than you, how rich am I compared to you? You get what I'm saying?
I love it.
So sales is the number one. I did sales my whole life leading up to me doing marketing. That's why I was number one at Lifetime.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I never did sales with CRMs until Lifetime. That was my first corporate environment where I had a CRM. All sales before were just like skill set based sales, like selling flooring for my dad's company, dude. In one Saturday as a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, I would sell more in one day than 4 adult salesmen would sell in 6 days of working their entire week. In one day myself.
So you're a naturally born salesperson.
No. I think all of us are naturally born salespeople.
Okay.
We just don't realize it.
I love that.
And it's because our whole life we're convincing people to do things. We're convincing our best friends to try this new flavor of chips. We're convincing our mom to let us go outside. We're convincing our other friend to play this video game on Xbox instead of this video game tonight. You know, we're always selling our entire life. Everything down to like every decision we make that's with another human being is a sales process. And so that's my take on sales. I think we're all naturally like that. I think a lot of us over time just didn't bridge the gap of me not being able to convince other people to do things and me being able to convince other people to do things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so over time, I got better at convincing other people to do things. And I realized it was because I needed to talk to everyone the way that they needed to be talked to. So like the reason I was so good at selling flooring wasn't because I'm a freaking top G salesman. It's because I spent my first 2 work days reading all the labels of all the flooring, of all the tile, of all the wood, of all the carpet to understand where each one goes. This is great in outdoor environments. This is great in the kitchen. This is great in here. This is great if you have kids. Like I studied and I learned and I figured out like, where is it great? Like, where are these things great and what problems do each one solve? And all I did was just solve the people's problems that came to me, right? Someone came and they're like, I want to do something outside. All the other salespeople are like, oh, how have you thought about, like, let's look at this thing over here. I'm like, great. What color? What are you matching it with? Blah, blah, blah. Perfect. I know exactly the 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Out of a showroom of millions, I can pick 3 and be like, 1, 2, 3. They're like, you're right, that one. You know what I mean? And so I was able to get to the sale way faster than all these other guys sitting here wasting time because I just solved the problem. And it's the same in every aspect of sales in life. You know what I mean? I think it's just about problem solving. When it was Lifetime Fitness, have you been to Lifetime Fitness?
Absolutely.
You have?
Yeah, there's one right down the road.
Yeah, Fashion Square, right?
Yeah. Well, there's all over. Yeah, they have, they have 3 here.
Okay, cool. So there's a basketball court. There's a rock climbing wall. There's squash courts. Now there's pickleball. There's a weight room. There's group classes. There's yoga. There's a spa. There's a cafe. There's a pool. There's pool coaching. There's hot tubs. There's steam rooms. I'm saying there's a kids center. There's a million things to sell in Lifetime. The problem is everyone sold everything. I only sold the problem that the person needed. If you came to Lifetime, bro, am I going to really fucking harp on group classes? Like, how many group classes have you attended in your life? 0. Am I even going to fucking mention? I'm going to walk by them. Be like, if you want group classes, here's a schedule right here. It's always here. And there's 50 from weightlifting to yoga. You can do your own thing if you want. I'm not even going to fucking focus on it. I'm going to focus on the weight room, the basketball court, how does pickup work in basketball, how sick our pools are. Like, oh, check out the locker room. Look at this sauna. Look at this steam room. Look at this cold plunge. I'm going to focus on the things that Bridger wants, right? Like, and I would spend 5 minutes figuring it out. Whereas everyone's like, they'll bring a fucking Indian family and they're standing on the basketball court for 5 minutes explaining the basketball court. I'm like, they don't give a fuck, bro. They're never going to bounce a basketball. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So that's all sales is. And so I think sales is the most important skill.
I love that, man. And so for someone learning sales, right? Let's say you were in that situation, right? What were some of the questions that you asked to figure out what the other person wanted? Because once you know what they wanted, now you know what to talk about and where you can find their value.
Yeah. So everyone always wants something. And luckily I was in environments where people came to me. So it's a little bit different, right?
Okay.
People had to like have the intent to drive to a flooring store. They're not just like, I'm here to, work out. They're like, I'm here to buy flooring. You know what I mean? Like they know they have a purpose of why they're there. I just needed to ask enough questions to figure out like what the actual purpose is. Right. And so I think it was a little bit easy. I was spoiled in that. That's why I was so good at closing on Lifetime. Like they're either calling in or they're walking in the fucking door. You know what I mean?
So they're already, there's intent. Yeah.
Yeah,
intent
right. I'm not like going and knocking on people's door and being like, hey, do you want to buy solar? You know what I mean? I know that they have a problem. So, and they know that they have, they're problem aware.
Yes.
And solution aware.
Yep.
I just need to like make the solution match the price. Like in the gym world, Lifetime is like super premium.
Okay.
So like people walk in, they're like, oh, LA Fitness is $20. I'm like, yeah, we're 150. You know what I mean? So that's the gap that I'm bridging there.
Yeah.
I'm bridging
why
that
they're
gap of
paying
price.
10x. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So I need to convince them why. I know that from the get-go. I know that's going to be the problem, so how do I do it? And I was always clever too. I did some clever shit. So like, for example, every week they'd give us a new promo, sometimes twice a week. So they'd get us as a sales team, like, okay, this week we're giving away $300 of swim lessons to everyone that signs up. example, right? Here's your offer sheets. So everyone would leave their offer sheets on their desk. What I would do is I would actually put them like, I had like a little bin here. So I'd put them in the bin facing the wall so that no one could read them. And I would never use them. And I would use it as like when you attend a webinar and they're like, and a bonus. That's what I would use it as, right? I would only use it if I needed it, right?
I love that.
So like if a family came and they're like, hey, we really need something to get us over the edge. I'll literally like, and I know this is like the most salesman shit ever, but like as long as the job got done and it was all ethical, totally fair. They'd be like, we want you to give us something else for us to sign up. And I'll be like, man, like we're super tight. Like everyone's signing up right now. Like we're not doing any promos. No. Like go see if your manager can help us with something. I'm like, this guy just wants to know that he got something more. Like that's the kind of person that person
Yeah,
is.
totally.
He's not, I really can't afford it. He's just like,
I want to feel special.
I want to feel like I negotiated out of him, right?
Yeah, I got a
I'll
good
walk
deal.
over, I'll be like,
Yeah.
fine, man. But like, if I get you something, like that's it, right? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, let me go talk to my sales manager. I'll walk into his office. I'll close the door. I'm like, just need to waste about like 45 seconds standing here. I was like, how's your day? I got him. Yeah, he's closed. Don't worry. Let me just go through that. Okay, cool. I'll walk back. I'll be like, all right. He said, I'll give you $150 of kids swim lessons for free. I said, bro, this guy's not going to accept that. So I got him to double it for you. But you have to sign up today. I'll give you $300 of swim lessons.
Oh, that's smart. I like
and the
that.
paper's right here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not doing anything unethical.
Yeah.
I could show him the paper. But I know if I showed him the paper, he'd be like, I want 600.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you get what I'm saying? He's just the type of personality that only wants more than
I'm
what
that
is given.
personality.
Yeah, which is okay, right?
Yeah.
But like that would work with you because you'd be like, babe,
Sign me up.
babe, you get in the car, babe.
Exactly.
I got us $300 this one.
I know. I
you see that?
was at Grant Cardone's event. I was like, babe, I got us 2 extra programs.
2 extra bro, can you get us? And they're like fucking throw it in there, bro.
She's like, you're so hot.
Exactly,
She's like, you're such a good negotiator. I'm like, thank you. No.
So
Yeah, dude, I love that.
Yeah,
dude.
so-
that's good shit. But I like what you said there, where you're like, listen, I talked to my manager. He said that I can give you 150, but I told him I was like, he's not going to take that. So I got him to give you 300, but you got to sign up today. Like that was.
right? It's like
I love that,
I didn't
dude.
just take what I negogated for you already.
Yeah.
I already took it to the next
Yeah,
step.
so then
don't
you're
even
his
send
friend.
me
You're his
back.
advisory.
Yeah,
and
don't even
versus
send
his
me back
enemy.
there, bro.
Yeah,
I
it's
already-
like, dude, I already did this. Like, don't make me look bad. Yeah, we're on the same team. That's good, dude. So, dude, who have you learned sales from, and what were your favorite courses, or how many courses have you bought? Like, what's your education, or was it all just hard knocks?
Dude, you're gonna think I'm fucking wild, but it's a lot. 95 to 99% is hard knocks.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I didn't even get into like sales training till Grant Cardone was probably the first person I even bought like a sales training from, and we're talking in 2019. Like I'd already like
Wow, so you were just catching up.
network marketing helped a lot. Like joining a network marketing company, I think is like one of the best things anyone can do at a young age. Honestly, it puts you in environments of personal development. I learned like YouTube videos existed where I could learn about like mentality, and like I never had personal development consumption up to like 18 years old. You know what I mean? So at 18, that's when I discovered like The Secret and Napoleon Hill and all these other people, right? That like kind of like help shape the frameworks of how I think and think a little bit bigger. And that was because of network marketing, but it also teaches me sales, right? Like I'm forced to like stand in front of a group of people and like pitch them to spend $500 as a college student to come do the same thing I'm doing. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
I really had to build I mean, fuck, I had a whole story about Disney. Like I built my own webinar in a way, right? And I stood up in front of a room and told it to 30 people that had no idea who I was and had to close them on $500 on the spot. So that was a huge, I think, leap in sales as well and confidence, because I just walk up to anyone on campus and be like, yo, like, I know how to, I know how you can make some money. You know what I mean?
So
like,
before you were married, did the sales help with dating? Yes or no?
oh, 1,000%. I was a closer, man.
Closer.
My wife knows it too.
Oh, she
Dude,
knows it too.
The night my wife met me, I had 3 girls at my table that were all dating me, all aware that they were dating me. Didn't give a fuck. They just they were just fighting to see who got the most of me that night. Yeah, and
Baller.
She knows it. Yeah,
Yeah, so she knows it.
Sales skills, bro.
Sales skill. That's
Dude,
what I'm saying, dude. That's
even-
why I love sales.
Yeah, dude. Even if you want to get into it, like even at the like in Lebanon where I go to in the summertime, my country, everyone thinks like Lebanese women are super hot. Like Pitbull says in all his songs, Enrique Iglesias says in his songs. Like, anyways, like I walked in one time to get a gym membership. Girl was pretty cute, and everyone, I was like, yo, what's her name? They told, I forgot her name. And I was like, cool, yeah, I'm gonna like take her out. Like, bro, we've been working out here for years. No one's taking her out. Like, no chance, no shot. I'm like, you guys are fucking lame, bro. I'm in my head. And here's the thing. I think self-confidence is one of the most important things, because self-confidence is the difference between like a 90% close rate and a 40% close rate. It's not lack of information. It's just pure self-confidence. And I was like, you guys are pussies. I'm American. Like, I can do whatever I want.
I got balls.
That's literally what it was. I was like, I'm winning. Like, no chance. So anyways, I talked to her for like a couple days in and out of the gym. Day 3, I was like, hey, like, what's the best place to go out here? Like, if you had one night to go out, like you, a friend, like small group, like just the last night in Lebanon, where would you go? And she's like, I would go here. I'm like, perfect. I got a table there tomorrow night. You and your friend, me and my friend. I'll let you decide. You can tell me tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? So confidence, sales. I built rapport a couple days before. Anyways, long story short.
Strong offer.
Strong offer.
Strong offer, dude.
FOMO too.
FOMO.
Offer ends.
Yeah, literally. The offer ends.
Offer
That's the close, dude.
Yeah,
that's the close.
I don't even want you to
Deadline.
make a decision
Scarcity,
now.
urgency.
I want you to think about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't even let her make a decision.
She made the decision
now.
before I even left. She's like, don't worry, I'm in. I'm like, okay.
That's a good one, dude.
Right?
I'm going to keep that in mind.
But it's not like, it wasn't like pre-scripted or anything. I was like, you know what? Like, how do I make her feel like I'm confident enough where I'm going to be a fun time, but also like I don't care enough to like really beg you to come out with me. You know what I mean? And so I was like, I need to play that middle ground. So yeah, sales was everything in dating girls and picking up chicks, bro. I'm fucking not the best looking guy. You know what I mean? So like for the amount of hot women that I've been able to pick up where every country I've been to, every place I've been to, it's purely self-confidence in sales. I think that's
I love it. And so if someone's lacking the self-confidence, how did you develop it? Because were you always a confident guy, or was there levels to it that you built? And how did you build it?
I always like faked intrinsic confidence. Like I was like, I'm fucking better, but in my head, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna lose. You know what I mean? Like
you faked it till you made it.
Yeah. Okay. In a way, yeah. But I'm just kind of giving you a background. Like I wasn't always confident.
Okay.
Like I would be like, oh yeah, let's go fucking. You want to play basketball, Bridger? Like let's go 1-on-1 right now. I'll fucking kick your ass. But in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna lose.
It's like ego, kind of.
Yeah.
The ego. The
Whereas
fake
now
ego,
I'm like, I'm gonna kick your ass, Bridger. And like even if I lose, I'm fully confident going into it that I'm gonna win. Otherwise, I wouldn't go play you. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, there's one moment in my life where I bridged a fucking huge gap, and that was on my drive to college. I talk about this a lot. So my university was an hour and 10 minutes away, and my dad was driving me there for like my orientation to like start getting settled and everything. And he was talking, looking forward to it. What are you most excited about? Blah blah blah. And then like the last 40 minutes of the drive, it was kind of like quiet, and I was like looking out the window, reflecting, and I was like, you know what? Like in life, you go from elementary to middle school, and you're with the same people, right? You're just changing schools. Like if you live in the same place, you're going from middle school. You're all going from elementary to middle school.
Even high school.
Even high school. But where does it change in college?
Bro, that's where that's where shit gets real.
That's where shit gets real. And I was driving there and I was like, you know what? Up to this point, everyone's always known me for who I was. But from this point forward, everyone will only know me for who I am.
Let's go.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
And I reshaped myself on that drive. I said, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to pick up girls. I've never picked up girls. I'm going to pick up girls. Wow. I'm going to be confident. People want to hang out with me. I'm going to be fucking cool. And I get to be whoever the fuck I want to be.
Wow.
And so on the way to college, I went in my head. I will never forget it. I fully transformed myself from like this day forward. This is who I am.
Wow.
And because no one here knows anything about me except Facebook past profile pictures is the most they can go.
Yep.
I get to become whoever I want to be.
I love that, dude.
You know what I mean? And so that day I became a different person, and everyone from that day till now knows me for who I am.
Wow.
And that's why everyone since college has been like, Eddie's going places. No one said that shit in middle school and high school.
Wow.
No one did. So,
dude, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, so I think self-confidence comes from within, bro.
I believe that. So, dude, what were some of the things that you decided on? Right? Because you made a decision. You're like, I'm going to kill off the old Eddie. I'm going to cut off the old Eddie. Yeah. So, like, how did you...
I gave myself clear action steps that would force me to break the mold that I was. So, I'll give you an example. I said, okay, day one, I'm going to knock on every single door in my entire building. I don't even know where I'm living yet. Whatever the building is, if it has fucking 1,000 doors, I'm going to knock on every door and introduce myself and tell them where I live and tell them my name and just connect. How uncomfortable is that?
That's
knocking
insane.
on every fucking door.
That's insane.
Like I knock on a door, you answer, you're done. You close the door and you're watching me knock on your neighbor's door. Like I'm just going. You know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta fucking.
This guy's here to be known.
This guy's here to be known, right? So day one, I knocked on. It was 9 floors and it was about 40 doors of floor, 40 to 45.
This is some tangible advice. If you're going into college right now, like guys, this is literally like I would have sketch pad out. I would be writing that. This is literally a formula to make millions. Like this is the stuff that built Eddie's character to make the business he has now. So keep going, dude. I'm fired up.
Yeah. So then I did the same thing for food, and I did the same thing for class. So anytime I had a class, I would try to never sit with the same person twice. And when you're in freshman in college, like a lot of your classes are like 300, 400 people because it's like mass history and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of easy to sit next to more people. And same with food, dude. I would wake up for breakfast and there'd be like 3 people in the cafeteria and 500 spots and I'd sit next to one of the 3. I'd be like, hey, can I sit here? And they're like, you gonna sit? Like, there's a lot of tables. I'm like, just wanna, hey, I'm Eddie. Nice to meet you. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just force myself in those uncomfortable scenarios.
Wow. To
the point that by the end of 3/4 through my first semester, I was like so confident in talking to anyone that I could like go get a girl if I wanted to from any situation. So like, I remember a story. A girl walked in to the cafeteria. She was wearing a Santa hat with a bunch of her sorority friends. And I'm 17, by the way. I got into college a year early.
Oh, wow.
I skipped a grade early on. So like,
let's go.
I'm like far from legal to go out, right? So like, you have to use a fake ID, like all this shit.
Yeah.
So I didn't know the bar scene like everyone else did. Like my friends who were like juniors and stuff that I met, like they all knew like what bar is good to go to and what frats go to. You know what I mean? All the cool shit. I didn't know any of that shit. I just knew like one bar that my friend took me to one time, and he let me borrow his ID. So I was like, okay, cool. So this girl walked in. I was like, hey guys, let's all go out. Like all my friends are like, let's go out, bro. Look at all these hot girls. Like, let's go. You know, you're in college. You're like, let's fucking go. Let's go mac on these chicks.
Let's do it.
They're like, nah, bro. You go on your own. We're not going out tonight. I'm like, dude, like, they're like, even if we went out, you would have no chance with that chick. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm going out alone, and I'm gonna find that chick, and I'm gonna bring her home. I'm gonna show you guys that I can do that. Like, fuck you guys. Like, okay, Eddie, whatever. So I went out. I went to the one bar.
Okay.
There's 130 bars, bro, at my university. I went to the one bar I knew, and she was in the bar.
Shut up.
Her and her friends.
Shut up.
It was another fraternity's party. It wasn't even mine.
Did you know this?
I had no fucking
What
clue,
led
bro.
you there?
Bro, law of attraction. It's. I think it's the strongest thing in the world, law of attraction. My wife was law of attraction, bro. I saw my wife at a restaurant. She left, and I went to chase her, and it was too late. She had already left in the car, and I was like, I could not get that girl out of my head for a week. I was like, give me one more chance. Just put me in if it's in traffic and she's next to me, I will make it happen. Like I just need, like I can't miss that chance again. Wow. You know what I mean? And I went to a club a week later with my friend. I was the first one at the nightclub. There was no one there at 9 o'clock. It was like 2 people at the bar. Like in Lebanon, party started at 1. Mm-hmm. But I went with my friend to catch up. We went to different colleges, so we're like, let's just catch up. We're sitting there. I'm telling him about it. I'm like, I can't get her out of my head. She walks in. Table right next to us. My wife. Her last day on vacation. She was leaving the next day, bro.
Shut up.
Yeah. Like law of attraction. Anything I've wanted in life, I've like fully, really mentally attracted it and put myself in positions and taken action when the chance came.
What is the law of attraction?
I think we are all neurally connected in a much smoother way than people think. That's why I think you see sometimes like people have a dream that, like I just read a story of a famous boxer who was a really good boxer and he withdrew from a fight because he had a dream that he killed the person that he fought. He had a dream about it. A lot of people talked him out of it. They're like, bro, it's a fucking dream, whatever. Get back in the fight. Eventually decided to continue with the fight. Wasn't even like a crazy scenario. He hit the dude so hard he died. Like it happened. So I say that to say like that's how neurally connected we are in a sense. And I believe like you have to believe there's some sort of higher power.
Yeah.
I'm not like super religious. Like I don't go to church every week. I used to as a kid. But like whatever it is, I don't care what it is. You got to believe there's something bigger than like humans, right?
Yeah.
So I think our brains are like satellites.
Okay.
Where we can put out a frequency and receive a frequency back. So if my frequency that I'm putting out is like, I'm going to make this amount of money. And then every day I'm waking up and taking the action steps. And when those opportunities happen, I take them. That's the key. That's what the law of attraction is. It puts me in a better position to take that opportunity. I just still have to take it though. I think a lot of people don't take it.
Yeah.
And so that's why like I could have gone to the bar and the girl could have been there, and I could have been a fucking pussy and not gotten that girl. But I brought that bitch back with me. Yeah. And then
Eddie is a winner.
And then in the group chat, she had that Santa hat on in the group chat. Everyone's like, "Did you do it?" I'm like, "Nah, guys, sorry, I couldn't do it. But like, meet me in the hallway. Let's go get breakfast, right?" We all walk out of the room, and I'm holding the hat. I'm like, they're like, "You fucker." I'm like, "Yeah, bro." My roommate was like, "You did it." My roommate was like the evidence, right?
That's hilarious, dude. Was that like your first big win in college then? Because that's the beginning part, right?
That was definitely like my first big. I went and did this shit on my own without anyone, and like, I also got the girl that everyone thought was the hottest girl
what happened to your status after that moment?
I think it wasn't my status that changed because like not everyone knew that I picked up this girl. Yeah. I kept it low key, right? It was like me and my boys in the hallway.
Well, what's the status with your boys though? Because you know how you kind of get those like, oh, he's winning, you know,
That's not. Here's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, let's hear it.
What changed was my self-confidence.
Okay.
Which changed my status with my boys and my life in general, right? Because like now I knew I could get what I wanted. So like it went from like that one girl to like a different girl every day. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing changed. Like imagine like it's 17 years of my life, all the things I've done, and like I'm not like a completely different person. All that changed was like up here. You know what I mean? Totally. And when that changed, like yeah, then everyone's like, yo, Eddie's the fucking biggest player I know. You know what I mean? Like, at least out of my friend group. Obviously, there's fucking dudes who pull way more bitches than I did. You know what I mean? But, like, in that group, like, that became the thing. And it was because I was self-confident enough to go and do that one.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Dude, I love that. See, I love the law of attraction. I learned about it, too, actually, when I was similar age. Would you say your wife was the biggest law of attraction moment, or what were some other maybe like in business, like you've had?
In business all the time, bro.
Let's hear it.
So like that business I was telling you about, the bodybuilding.com in the Middle East. I don't like. I've never gone like super deep on it. But basically
let's do it.
So I'm not gonna go too deep, but I'll give you some law of attraction moments that were.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Long story short, I was in Lebanon and Dubai and all these countries, right? And I was like, dude, fitness is becoming huge. Gyms are popping up. Like, people are working out wherever they can. Like, Sadiq Hadzovic. I don't know how much you know about bodybuilding, but, like, big bodybuilders, like Big Ramy, all these guys were becoming, like, huge on the bodybuilding stage and fitness. And so, like, Middle Eastern people started getting super into fitness. Everyone started having, like, six-packs. Like, everyone on social media, it was, like, when Shreds was big. You remember Shreds?
Yeah.
It was, like, all these supplement companies were, like,
blowing up,
paying for influencers. Everyone wanted to be fucking jacked. So it was like this huge craze, and I saw it happening, and I was like, they're missing supplements. Like, supplements here aren't that good, right? So I need to connect with like these top supplement brands in the world to get them. But like, I'm a fucking like 19-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck are they gonna like give me the rights to something, right? So I was like, I need a way in. So I started like doing all my research, all this stuff. Anyways, one day my friend's like, hey bro, I'm flying into one of my friends from college. He's like, I'm flying into Lebanon. He's like, I land at 1 a.m. Like, maybe I can see you like in these 3 days before you leave. And I was like, bro, I'm leaving like in 2-3 days. Like, the only way I can see you is if I pick you up. He's like, okay, well, like my cousin was also going to come pick me up. I'm like, bro, let your cousin come. He can say hi, but I'm picking you up and I'm taking you. We're hanging out. And then I'll take you all the way home. His home was like 3 hours away. It was super inconvenient. But I'm like, fuck it, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. I went to the airport. His cousin, me and him start chopping it up. I tell him about this idea that I have. He's like, bro, my roommate in college went on to be the VP of the biggest supplement distribution company in America. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I don't know too much about it, but like, let me connect you to. Connects me to him. Turns out this is the dude that sells all the supplement company stuff to all the stores in America. He's like the bridge, right? He's like literally the dude in the middle. So he's like, yeah, my roommate, anything for him, come through. Turns out his fucking office is an hour and a half away from my home. So I drive up there. I'm walking through every supplement company I've ever dreamed of. He's like, yeah, this is their product. Take them for free. It gives me like thousands of dollars of product. It's like, try them out. Whichever ones you want, I'll set up meetings. I'll tell you which ones are the best. This guy's the best. This guy sucks. This guy's the best, whatever. Sets up all the meetings in Vegas, in Olympia, which is like their big conference. So law of attraction got me there, right? It put me in that position, right?
Yeah.
But also, if I didn't pick up my friend, think about it, I would not have ever had that situation happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like saying yes to opportunities that present themselves. Like, think about how spontaneous it was that my friend was like, hey, I decided to come to Lebanon for a week. Like super weird, right? Like
So start saying yes. If you're in a position of no and lack, do you think people should start saying yes?
I think until you get so much abundance of opportunity where you have to say no, because you're sacrificing good yeses, then you should always say yes. So I always said yes, right? I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and then like that put me in positions of opportunity. So anyways, I'm in this conference and there's one company I couldn't get a meeting with. They're like so fucking hot. They're like the hottest thing on social media. He didn't distribute them. He had no connections. No matter what I tried, couldn't get in. So I was like, I need to like stumble in. I need to just like accidentally have it happen. Right. So anyways, I prepped a 40-page marketing plan for these guys. Every meeting he gave me, I signed. Every single one. I was not even fucking legally age to drink. And they gave me exclusivity to sell their products to all Middle Eastern countries. Right. So law of attraction got me there, but I took all this action, right? Built the marketing plan, showed up prepared, had these meetings. I fucking crushed it, got them all sold. And I was like, I want this one brand. How do I get this one brand? So there's like hundreds of of meeting rooms. It's like impossible to find. There's no map. So I like walked kind of around 2 different floors in the building. Eventually I saw their name on a door. I was like, okay, this is the brand. So I was like, let me like stumble in. So like someone opened the door and I like looked in and I like kind of read the room and I was like, okay, it's a bunch of round tables. There's a lot of space. No one would question if like another dude came and sat at a table. It's not like super tight.
Okay.
So I'm like, cool, let me go in. So I like walked in like on my phone, got my backpack on, just like sit at a table and I sit like 2-3 seats away from the dude who I know owns the company. You know what I mean? I'm just like kind of like I'm tired of walking. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where you're like, finally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the vibe I gave. He's like, hey man, what do you do? I'm like, oh, sorry man, is this like your room? Like, oh yeah. I'm like, oh, sorry man, I distribute supplements in the Middle East. Like, just had a bunch of meetings. Like, I'm gassed, and I like was walking by, I saw the table. I just figured I'd sit down. Oh, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. You know, this is my name. It's my name. Start chatting up. I start telling them about what I'm doing. It's all super organic. Yeah, dude, here's the marketing plan I was bringing to them. If you want to check it out. Oh, dude, we love that. Let's be a part of it. Sign that guy who was like my biggest guy, right? But it's because law of attraction gave me the opportunities that I actually took the fucking opportunities.
That's
you know what
crazy, dude.
So, yeah, if I had just walked in and pitched him, it would not have been the same result.
Yeah. Where were why were you walking around? What was the situation? Context.
So Olympia is the main conference for fitness.
That makes sense.
And all the fitness companies were meeting there. So the dude that set up my meeting set them all up in the Olympia. Because all the companies were so you're
walking around.
8 o'clock you're in room 300. In 10 o'clock you're in room 450. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like I know what you're talking about. Okay, interesting.
But yeah, so law of attraction and capitalizing on those opportunities, I think is like
what was the result of your endeavor with the Middle East? I'm curious. Like, what did you guys end up doing? It was a disaster.
Yeah, there's so much. I got all the contracts. I signed everything. There's just so much corruption in the Middle East that I decided to pull out after like 12 months of paperwork.
What happened?
Basically, every time I would like for example, I come to you and you're like, I need these 15 lab results for this product for me to let it in. I'm like, cool. I get the 15 lab results and I bring them to you. And you'd be like, oh yeah, there's another one I forgot about. Yeah, number 16. Go get me that one too. And I'll bring it back. I'm like, number 70. I'm like, that doesn't even exist. Like, we need number 17. And so what I started noticing was like, there's a lot of corruption because the brands that currently were being sold in the country had some sort of back-end corruption tied to the Department of Health.
Wow.
And so the Department of Health was trying to stop other people from coming in and taking that market share. Yeah.
Wow. It's not capitalistic.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? Do I really want to be in a business where someone else can control me with like a snap of a finger? Like they could just say, you can't sell this anymore. And I'm fucked. I'm like, as big as it is, it's not something I really want to get into. I think this was a sick experience. I built some good relationships, but you got to know when to cut ties. So that's when I left the Lifetime job, even though I was the number 1 salesperson, because that was my bridge between like the paperwork being done and me like fully going all in on that. Right.
Okay.
But I wanted to stay in fitness still. So I was like, okay, that's done. Okay, I need to get out of this opportunity. That's just money. It's no longer experience. I need to go build more experience quickly. You know what I mean? So.
I do, yeah. What would you say it has been the biggest bridge that you've either had burned or blew up? Like, what's the biggest loss you've had in business, and what's the biggest lesson you learned from it?
I never burned a bridge in my entire life.
Okay.
So I've actually never burned a single bridge, which I think is something super important. I've never left an employer on bad terms. I've never like screwed anyone over in any sense in my life. There's not a single fucking person in the entire fucking world, I can tell you I screwed them over, or like I burned a bridge, or anything like it. Impossible. Well, you won't find it. You could like put me in a jail cell for 6 months, ask everyone in my entire life, and you wouldn't be able to find it. You know, it'd be impossible.
It's a big statement.
A very big statement. I'm super confident, as you can tell.
It's a big statement.
Super good. The worst someone can say.
You haven't
is
screwed
like,
anybody over.
No, not a
What's the worst they can say?
Eddie's marketing didn't work for me.
Eddie stole my girl.
Not even.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
But like really though, brotherhood. Like
no, I believe that. I believe in brotherhood.
I've had many scenarios in the past where that's a possibility, and I would go right to my friend and be like,
"She's out.
Your girl's fucking freaking out over here. Like, take care of this."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
totally.
So no, I never burned a bridge, but I've been screwed before in business for sure.
Okay.
For the same reason, for not burning bridges, for not being like so direct and so ruthless with people when I could have been, and because of that, I trusted that mercy was kind enough to allow them to not come back and try to screw me still. When they saw, it's like when someone's on the ground and you're like, you can step on their neck, or you can like give them a hand to get them up and be like, hey, get up, you're good.
Just like in the movies.
Just like in
Anytime
the
you let the
movies.
bad guys live, guys, they always come back
Always
to try to
fucking
kill
come
you
back.
again.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but that's kind of the scenario that I was in. And so that is the biggest time I've ever been screwed. And it's because I wasn't just ruthless and
Yep. I believe that,
I
dude.
gave too
Justice.
many points of forgiveness, essentially. So
Yeah, totally. I mean, dude, I think that there's a healthy level of boundaries. Like you can still love the person, but you throw them out of the castle. Like
Yeah,
you steal,
exactly.
steal out from my castle. You're out of the castle.
Exactly. That's
You can't come back in, dude.
That's it, bro.
I'll wave.
I'll throw some bread here and there.
Yeah, we'll
you
throw
know?
some bread, dude. We'll give you a little
Hey,
wave.
what's up, bro? But if you're like, yo, can I come to the castle?
No, dude.
Peace.
I love that, dude. Well, dude, we're coming to the end of the podcast. I really just want to say, dude, I really appreciate coming down here.
Of course.
To share this conversation with me and with the guys watching, right? Because, I think, guys, you got to tune into Eddie's Instagram. He's got a ton of great content. I watch his content. He's always doing events, speaking, podcasts. Where can they find you and plug into more of Eddie and bad marketing?
Just my first and last name. Instagram and YouTube. By the way, my YouTube's.
Yeah? What do you post on the YouTube?
I film my own content a lot. It's like more long form. I mean, I'm sure as you can probably tell, I'm probably more of a long form guy than a short form guy. I'm not like super big on like getting people's attention for 20, 30 seconds. But I feel like if we sit here for an hour and talk back and forth, we can dive deep enough to get into certain topics. So that's why I prefer my YouTube. I also post all those speeches. So like all these speeches where people are paying $5-10 grand to go to, I'm posting them online for free. So, I think there's a lot of value there. Some people, there's a speech that I have on YouTube that I did at my own conference. To this day, I'd say like 2-3 times a week, people message me being like, that transformed my business. One dude came up to me crying, gave me a hug, and sent a selfie to his wife saying, I finally met him, because that's how much I changed their life as a family from that one like 2-hour presentation.
Holy, what did you cover? 80,
just how to grow an agency.
Wow. Like how to build one, scale one, start one?
But it was like everything from like my story to like photos of me like not making money in a basement with like an Altima to like.
What's the title so they can find it? We'll link it too.
Just how to make like $1 million a month. How to grow your agency to $1 million a month.
Wow. How to grow your agency to $1 million a month. What's the biggest month you've had with your agency?
We won't talk about.
We won't talk about that, guys. He's too big to talk about the number. We know that it's big number. Okay. And what would you say? Lastly, okay. I always ask this question at the end. You're sitting across from a guy who's 10 years younger than you.
Yeah.
But now we've got ChatGPT. We've got AI. We've got all this craziness going on. And you've got to give him 2 to 3 minutes of advice of where to put his flag and go all in. What are you going to say to him?
Sales.
Okay.
That's it.
Just sales.
I've already given my point earlier.
Guys, listen, if you want to learn my bridging the gap. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to
Hey, why not, bro? I mean, if you're watching.
All right, guys, listen, if you're watching right now and you want to get access to my sales training completely for free, I do have a free course that I want to give you for watching this. And so just hit the first link in the description. It's going to take you to a school group. Just sign up. Just go in there. And it's a really awesome brotherhood. And if you just go into the community, there's a whole training that I did on literally how I went from $0 back in groceries, making $7.85 an hour, to later, 18 months later. Well, I guess I was making no money. I had like $32 in my bank account to making 65 grand a month in sales. So go check out the video. I know you love it. And if you want to start an agency, who should start an agency? Who should get in sales? Or should you do sales first, then the agency?
Yeah, I think like in my agency,
Okay.
I'm always our contingency plan because
Okay.
I'm so good at sales.
Okay.
The whole thing could fall apart and tomorrow I could grow it. So in COVID, we lost all our clients in one day because COVID shut down like the country. And all the people we had were like stores that people had to walk into, and they were all closed. In 1 month, I built the agency to bigger than what we built in the last 2 years because of sales. I was like, I'm in charge of sales now. And I did my own sales.
So you just fall back on that skill every time.
It's the skill
Sales.
that will make you money in any country, in any part of the world that you're ever in.
And any economy.
Any economy.
And this is what I love about sales is because if you can find a gap big enough and sell them the bridge to get across, you're going to make a commission. You're going to make your toll.
That's it.
Across the bridge.
That's it. That's a good way to put it.
I love it, dude. Well, I appreciate you coming on the
course, bro.
podcast.
Thanks for having me on,
Make
bro.
sure you guys tune into Eddie's content. I want you guys to stay connected. Send the man some love, my bridge builders. And guys, make sure you follow if this is your first time watching, you come from Eddie's side, I would love for you to subscribe to the podcast. We've got some really cool guests coming up. We post every single week. Turn on the notification bell. And I love you guys. I am Bridger Rogers. This is Bridging the Gap. And together we will bridge the gap.
All right, congratulations. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a 1%er. So do me a favor, do a couple things for me. Number one, share this with someone that you feel like will get tremendous value from this video. And then number two, we've got content that'll help you level up and bridge the gap in multiple areas of life. Your belief systems, your mindset, your body, your business, your brotherhood, your babe. So all you gotta do is hit the link right here to watch my most recent video on how to bridge the gap with your belief system, with your body, with your business, with your brotherhood, and help you find a babe. See you guys in the next video.